Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear us? Let us know if basically there's any issues. Give us a little type in the chat box here. But otherwise, hopefully you guys can hear us. And we'll be getting started here in just a couple minutes.
Just waiting for a few more people to jump on, but we're super excited to be doing this together and with all of you. So
yeah. If you're on your phones, the chat box is.
Thank you so much for letting us know that you can hear
Yay.
us. Yeah, so if you're on your phones, the chat box is going to be on the bottom. And then if you're on your computer, it's going to be to the right of your screen. So feel free to jump in the chat with any questions or anything that comes up. We love being interactive and answering questions and all of that. So that's where that will be.
Yeah, we're here to answer all these things for you guys. So we'll be back in literally just 2 minutes or so. We'll get started. We're just going to let a couple more people join in here. All right, guys, we are going to get started here. So welcome to our webinar on the beauty of detoxing. We're so excited to talk to you guys about this. It's a good time of year. I don't know if some of you guys are planning vacations or, you know, all of you who are in Arizona, it's kind of getting hot and we're sweating and feeling kind of gross. It's like no better time to just detox a little bit with the support of all the heat that you're getting outside anyway.
Totally. Yeah. I'm super excited to actually be doing this with you guys because I have a vacation coming up in about 3 weeks. So it's perfect timing, sort of, you know, de-puff, de-inflame, and feel your best. And then it's also great if you're coming back from vacation, just to sort of get all of everything out that, you know, you might have had too much fun on vacation with. So,
we're going to get started here. So just a little intro. I'm Dr. Kara Slater. And we're both doctors here, a little bit about both of us. But basically, if you guys are already patients here at Desert Wellness Center, we cover a broad spectrum of things, a lot of hormone balancing, obviously detoxing, gut stuff, all of that. So,
yeah. So I have been here since about actually January. So it's been about 6 months and I love it here. And I have met, I think, a lot of you guys, but we are always happy to see you. So if you guys have any questions or ever want to stop in, we are always here.
Hey, all right. So let's get started and talk about toxins. So I think one of the most important things is that toxins are everywhere. And unfortunately, even if we're leading a really clean lifestyle, right? Like eating organic foods and we're drinking all the water we should, and we're doing all the right things, just simply living in the world today is a toxic environment. There's just really no avoiding it. So the air we breathe, you know, the food we eat, even if it is organic and good, you're getting a certain amount of toxins all the time. So that being said, it's important that we detox. Everybody needs a certain amount of detox. And our body's kind of detoxing all the time. It's trying, right? So we can kind of keep up. But then there's a certain level where we just reach that we need to give it a little oomph, and then you'll feel so much better.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's just a good reminder that unfortunately it's hard to avoid. But I think remembering some of these things that you even see on here, like drinking out of, a glass or a metal water bottle, so avoiding the plastics, making sure that you do eat organic, that you're drinking enough water during the day. All of these things kind of keep you at a good level, but as slowly time increases and we get a little more buildup, that's when it's a good time to do a detox. So how does our body detox? Basically, kind of like I was saying, we're constantly detoxing to a certain degree. Our liver is like our main
number one.
Yes. He is the guy that is always working on detoxing. It's like anything that you're exposed to is going to get into your blood and be filtered out through your little liver. So caring for him is very important. And some of the big things that we see, all of us can indulge at some point, but things like alcohol and caffeine and medications, we forget about this, that like these are things that you might need to be on, right? Important, but your medications have to go through your liver, and that puts extra strain on them. So it's just important to support that. So liver's the big detox organ. Your kidneys are huge. So kidneys are filtering out our urine. So that's right. Anytime we're able to eliminate things, that's going to be a part of our detox processes. So kidneys are creating our urine. We're eliminating stuff. Great. The other big piece is your GI tract, bowel movements. If you're not having a bowel movement every day, we're really not detoxing properly. It's so important. And I feel like I see this all the time, that patients, we think it's like normal. Oh, I, don't necessarily go every day. And it's like, that's just one extra storage for your body to reabsorb.
Yep.
So, the other big thing is sweating through your skin. This is one of our biggest detox organs, right? We have it all over our body. And as we know, when it's getting warmer, we're sweating. But making sure you're exercising and moving your body, really, really important for detox. Our stinky armpit sweat is actually can be very beneficial to getting all of that out. It needs to come out some way. So like I said, anytime we're getting something out of our body, that's part of our body's detoxing. The last piece is really our lungs. So, just exhaling when we're getting, rid of any kind of the air that we're breathing. That's part of our detox as well. So your body's doing this constantly. But if you think about that, we've kind of got this overburden of toxins building up. Sometimes we need that little extra push to kind of set that scale even again. So this is where I feel like hopefully everybody can relate a little bit. Some signs that we need to detox. So one of the big things I see oftentimes is skin stuff, right?
So common.
It's like everyone's got it, right? And you get these little like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get some little pimples here, and probably a sign that we need to detox. And it's kind of amazing sometimes when you first do a detox, sometimes when it's all coming out, you might even have like a little flare.
Yeah.
But then you do it and you're like, oh my God, my skin has not felt this good
totally
in years.
Yep. Your skin really shows what's going on the inside. So if there's something happening on the skin, we need to work on what's going on inside.
Yeah. There's only certain ways your body can tell you what's going on, and it usually is like presenting itself. So looking at your skin is actually really important. I feel like I see this in myself and also in patients all the time, is the fatigue and the brain fog. When you're just feeling like exhausted and you don't have, the energy to get up and work out in the morning, and just feeling kind of like blah. Oftentimes that can be a sign that we've just got a little bit higher toxic burden and we need to cleanse and kind of clean it up. And I will say, kind of like with the skin, sometimes you can feel a little more tired at first.
Yes.
Because your body's working hard, right?
Yeah.
But then you start to feel so much better. And usually when you're done with these detoxes, you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I could have this much energy again. So, do you feel like, do you see a lot of hormone stuff with toxins?
Yeah, absolutely. Hormones just can be influenced and impacted by so many different things in your environment. And so I think that's a big one, especially if you have like PMS symptoms or cramping or, maybe heavy periods, something like that, it can be a big sign that you actually need to detox and cleanse, because your liver is processing all those hormones. And like we said, it's one of your biggest detox organs. So sometimes you just need a little extra support with that. Do you see that too?
Yeah, I think that's huge. And I love that you mentioned the liver, because all of our hormones are processed there. So if our liver is overwhelmed with all the toxins in our body, it's not able to process these hormones well. And then you've got the double whammy of, PMS, crampies, and then you're also feeling tired and you're having breakouts. So all of the things, there's a lot of things on here. And the point of this is that really a detox is going to help every single function in your body. So, if you're unable to lose some of the weight, you're holding on to that extra 5 pounds and it's just not coming off. Sometimes a detox can kind of reset that metabolism. Sometimes, honestly, some of the weight is just inflammatory puff, I call it, and tell my patients. It's like the puff.
That's a great description.
So you're basically, it's not necessarily that you've got, all this fat that you need to lose. It's that we're just toxic and we need a little bit of anti-inflammatory. We need to clean it up. And you can kind of lose that puff feel, which is why this is also really, really great to do before or after a vacation. And I think, this time of year, a lot of us are trying to get out of town, and that usually means going somewhere fun that we want to, look and feel our best. Yeah. So this is a really great thing to do before or after a vacation. And then, things like headaches, feeling sick all the time, not being able to tolerate, like if you're really sensitive to smells, or, just feeling kind of sensitive overall, that can be a sign that you need to detox as well. Just your body's kind of overburdened. So, also some of the chronic things we see, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stuff like that, high blood sugar. A simple cleanse can honestly sometimes just knock you down a couple notches and get things feeling a little bit better.
Totally.
So, and not hopefully, but I'm guessing you can all relate a little bit, because I know I definitely can check a couple of these boxes myself. Okay, so this is why we should be detoxing. So just like I said before, it decreases inflammation. That's the puff. That's where we're like, why? Like just around the middle, I'm feeling like I can't get that, swimsuit body that I've been wanting. I'm exercising all the time. I'm eating clean.
Doing all the right things.
Yeah, you just can't get there. A detox. It jumpstarts weight loss, right?
Totally.
You get those couple extra pounds going, and then you can kind of feel like that momentum starting and being able to keep up with it. And then also, I think one of the biggest for me is that just my energy and my mental clarity. Like, you don't realize sometimes what you're eating when you're having, lots of sugar and you're not drinking enough water. You're like, why do I feel like I need to put my head down in the middle of the day on my desk? Mm-hmm. And then you all of a sudden do this cleanse. You're like, oh my gosh, I have so much more energy.
Yeah.
So, and then there are, times when it's not appropriate to do a detox. So that would be pregnant or breastfeeding, which is why I'm not going to be joining you guys because I'm currently pregnant. So, there's times when it's actually not a good idea. Kidney or liver disease, mm-hmm. right? We talked about that. These are some of your biggest detox organs. So if they're not working properly, then we don't want to overburden them. And also things like cancer. There are times when people do kind of detoxes in cancer, but that's where you want to have, the advice of your provider and make sure that it's fitting for you. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. And Dr. Wright is going to talk about what program we're going to be doing.
Yeah. So we are going to be doing a 14-day detox with something called the VegeCleanse. So we really love this product and this program for a lot of reasons. So if you signed up for the webinar today, you're actually automatically going to be enrolled in the program. That doesn't mean you have to do it. You can, you don't have to participate, at least at this time. You can always save it for a later date because really it's good any time of year, pre-post vacation, so many different reasons why you would do it. And so we actually are using an app called Well World, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. And we just started using this recently. It's from Designs for Health, which is one of our favorite supplement companies, and we are loving this app. It's so helpful, so beneficial for patients, so we're super excited about that. Like I said, it's a 2-week program, so 14 days, and we're all doing it together. So there's support of us. I'm actually going to be doing it as well, and then all of you guys will be doing it together. So that's sort of fun to have the group community with that. There will be easy to follow recipes and all the supplements, everything that you need will be included. We will be starting next Monday, which is June 20th, I believe, and it will go till July 3rd. So the reason we picked this is because of the great timing. So it's right after Father's Day. So you might be having a fun Father's Day, maybe going to brunch, having some desserts, maybe a little drink, something like that. And then July 4th, I know a lot of people like to barbecue or enjoy the day. They have it off usually. So it'll be right in between there. So you can still enjoy those days, but also maybe if you're going on vacation for the 4th or right after, like I am, it's a good way to, get looking good and feeling good before that. And then, like we said, it is physician supervised. So we will be there throughout the whole journey for any questions or concerns that come up. We're here to support you, and you can actually communicate with us through the Well World app that I will sort of show you a little bit of a preview of how it looks. And so if you have any questions, you can message us and we will be able to get back to you. So super excited. So the reason we like specifically the VegeCleanse is because, so when you purchase it, you'll get that box and it'll be for 14 days. So it has everything that you need in there besides your food. So it has a functional food powder, which is basically like a protein powder, but it has some added nutrients, antioxidants, things that support detox and elimination. So it's a really great addition to help support your liver, like we talked about, as well as all of the other cleansing and detoxing going on in your body. And the protein powder is helpful because you do need amino acids to detox, which are the building blocks of proteins. And this product specifically is a vegetarian one, so it's a pea protein. And the reason we like this is because it's usually less allergenic for most people. There are some that could be like a soy protein or whey, but some people have a hard time with those or dairy products. So this usually most people can tolerate really well. The reason also we're doing at least 14 days is because usually it takes at least 2 weeks for the body to sort of detox and get rid of that inflammation and all of that stuff. You can do it for even longer, but at least 2 weeks is a good place to start. All right. Thank you guys for the feedback. I'm glad that you guys are excited about it too.
Yay.
So this cleanse supports detox through a lot of different ways. But toxins sort of hide out in our bodies. They're really good at, getting stored in maybe our fat or sometimes even in our bones or different places. And so sometimes you need a little bit of extra help to sort of get them out of there and actually out of your body. So things that can hide are like pesticides, which, you could get in the environment or in your food or any of that. Drugs, which we talked about a little bit, your liver has to process that. And sometimes they get a little stuck in the liver area. Any types of hormones and other things. So the reason we like this is because it helps to pull things out of places that toxins might even be hiding. And then this is, the VegeCleanse is specifically formulated in that powder and the supplements that you get with it to support both phase 1 and phase 2 detox. So phase 1 and 2 detox have to do with the liver. And remember, the liver is the big guy in our detox. And so basically, if those are not working well, your body's going to have a hard time and maybe get a little stuck in the detox process. So that's why this product specifically is so helpful, because it sort of supports the overall ability of the body to cleanse and get rid of things. Alrighty, so what does the plan entail? So like I mentioned, it's a 14-day detox. It will include an anti-inflammatory diet. And this is really key. I will say people feel so much better with these simple, things to do diet-wise, where you're avoiding really the inflammatory foods, as well as things that might have more toxins or just cause more inflammation in your body. So the main ones that we see and that are included in this is gluten and dairy free, avoiding alcohol and limiting caffeine, or avoiding, I know some people, love their coffee, and it would be a little bit challenging. Maybe you'd get some headaches from that. So we're not necessarily trying to totally take that away, but limiting. Sugar-free is really important, unless they're natural sugars, like something in fruit. And then avoiding all processed foods and red meat as well. So there are a few other, once you get your packet, they have like a diet guide that comes with it, and it really lists out in detail all the things that you can and can't eat. So it's very user-friendly, super easy to follow. And there are a couple other things that they might say to limit or avoid, but these are the main ones that we see to be helpful. Do you see that too with those foods?
Yeah, I agree. And I think the nice thing too is that this is like a jump off point. So like if you start with this and you're eliminating all these things, and then you're finding these new recipes that you like that are sugar-free and dairy-free and gluten-free, you can kind of use this to continue to feel really good, even though you're not having to like do the actual, detox for the full time.
Yeah.
So,
and it's a great way to start because it's only a couple weeks, and really you could do anything for two weeks, right? It's not too much. And so it's a good way to start. And then if you feel great, then you could even continue with it or something like that. It also includes, so you get 2 protein shakes per day. They do recommend doing one for breakfast and one for dinner, and then eating a healthy meal at lunch. However, you can switch it up. So if you wanted to do, meal at dinner and breakfast and lunch protein shakes, you can totally do that. It's not a calorie restrictive diet, which is super great. So if you're hungry, you can eat healthy snacks. It's totally allowed. It's still going to work. You're still detoxing. It's more of what you're eating. And the other part of that is you can exercise during it, which a lot of fasts or cleanses or things like that, you can't really work out because you're maybe calorie restricting or just feeling so tired or whatever the reason. And so this is so great because you can exercise like normal. Although I will say when you are detoxing, like we sort of mentioned at the very beginning, you might feel a little bit more, mostly because your body is now mobilizing or getting all these toxins out. And so sometimes for a couple of days, you can feel just maybe a little more sluggish or a headache or something. And that usually resolves within just a couple of days. So listen to your body. If you're feeling more tired, maybe do some gentle exercise, some yoga instead of that like HIIT class that you normally do. Something else that's key for detoxing in general is drinking enough water. So make sure you're drinking at least half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. Even more when you're detoxing would be great. And then sleeping is really key also for recovery. So sleep at least 7 to 8 hours per night. And then we sort of went through this. So the box that you will get includes the protein powder, all the supplements that you need, the dietary guidance, which is, recipes, shopping lists, what to eat, what not to eat. You will also get daily reminders and messages, things like, what are you grateful for this morning? Or make sure to drink your water today. And then access to us, so physician support and messaging throughout the whole program. And then you can also actually track your weight, water, exercise, meditation, other things like that throughout the app, which is a really fun way to see how you improve, how you're feeling, and all of that. Okay, so this is just a little sort of screenshot of what the Well World app looks like. So this is going to be your go-to resource for everything that you need for these 14 days. The first one, so this is, you can get it on the computer and you can also get an app on your phone, which is very convenient and super user-friendly and easy. So you can use the app if you would like, and this is screenshots from the app. So the first one over on the left side is sort of your main screen. This is going to be where you can track all of your water, your meditation, whatever else you're doing. And those rings are all the things that you're tracking. So it's sort of a fun way to, see how much you've accomplished and what else you need to do for the day. The middle one where it says plan, that's going to be all of your dietary guidance. So all the recipes, the shopping list, your supplements will be on there and when to take them. So everything is outlined there, so easy. And then the last one is where you can contact us. So you can just say text and then you just write out a little text messages and we'll get it, and then we will get back to you. And then over on the right-hand side is just an example of your one of the meal plans. So you get actually recipes every day, and it sort of lines it out, but you can, switch them up through the days. If you're like, I really love this recipe, you could do that a few times in 1 week. You don't have to follow it. It's just a lot of ideas. And sometimes that's the hardest part, just thinking of what to eat.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like why this is so valuable, is that you're getting daily reminders. You're getting daily, like, oh, try this new, somebody's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this is going to be so yummy. And it gives you an idea of what to do. But then if you don't like it, you can always go back to kind of some of the basics or one of your other favorites. And we'll be here the entire time. And also, sharing, if you're like, oh, I love this recipe, like, let us know, because the more feedback, then the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So you will get an email from Well World later today, or maybe tomorrow, with your login and password information. All you have to do is click the link and log in, and then change your password. And then you have access to the online portal. And then if you download the app, then you just use the same login and username and password information, and you'll get in there too. So the VegeCleanse is $192, and this is for the whole 14 days. So all of the supplements, protein powder, all of that stuff is $192. You can purchase it from a few different places. So on the Well World app, you can actually get it directly through there. You just add it to your cart and check out, and they'll ship it directly to your house, which is super, super convenient. You can also get it on FullScript if you've worked with us before, or have a login, you can get it on there as well. And then we also have some in person. So if you live close to here and it's just more convenient to come on in, then we are happy to give you one here too. It includes the 4 supplements. So the protein powder, which is the VegeCleanse powder, Detox, Antitox, which is going to be 3 capsules in the morning. And then LVGB complex, which is basically a liver support, because we mentioned how important it is to support your liver through this whole process. That's 3 capsules at dinner. And then amino detox is 2 capsules at dinner. So you can do this in addition to the supplements. If you're already on sort of a regimen from a physician, you can do this in addition to the other stuff. For some people, they like to stop their other supplements. But we would recommend continuing all medications. Don't discontinue any of that, or hormones. And it's always best to check with your provider about, switching anything up. But this is a super easy way and relatively inexpensive to help with detoxing and yeah. So we're super excited to be doing this. I'm excited to, feel a little bit more energy and mental clarity, and hopefully my skin will be more vibrant and all of that for my vacation coming up in a few weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think this is, I'm excited for all of you guys who are going to join. And although I'm not doing it with you guys, I have done this before.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are going to feel really good. And just like the reminder, we've chosen kind of this time frame, but it's like there's never like, the perfect time to have 2 weeks to do a class. It's like, just do it, because you're going to feel better. And this is so user friendly that it really makes it just thoughtless. You know what I mean? You're like, great, I don't have to worry about breakfast anymore. Just take my shake. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be easy. And I know that there was a really good question of, is the sweetener monk fruit? And I'm actually not sure.
Is that as in if you can eat monk fruit sweetener?
Because I think, I don't know if it's stevia or...
You should be able to do stevia or monk fruit. I'm okay with those. It's just sort of like added sugars, like cane sugar, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The powder have a flavor. I believe it's...
it does have a flavor. It's kind of like...
Vanilla-y...
Vanilla... I feel like it's like vanilla berry. That's what I feel like it is.
Trying to remember what it tastes like. Yeah, I think it's like vanilla berry-ish. I think it's pretty decent. I don't think it tastes bad or anything.
Yeah.
It's tolerable.
It's tolerable. And, the shakes, they go down pretty quickly. It's not like, first of all, you can add more or less water, but, you just drink the shake. It tastes decently good.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you should like it. Will the email that we receive have the link to the exact VegeCleanse product? Yes, it will. So it will have, basically, when you're registered, you'll get a little link to go into the Well World app. And on that app, you can select right at the bottom the VegeCleanse on there, 14-day VegeCleanse.
Yep. Let's see.
Oh, does the protein powder have sweetener, and is it monk fruit? You know what? I am not sure.
I don't think that it is,
I don't think
but
it is either.
we'll have to double check. And if you want to, in the private chats. Oh,
stevia. Yay. Okay. Perfect.
So stevia, not monk fruit.
These are all great questions.
Yes, we appreciate the questions. And then let's see. Yes, Andrea, hopefully I'm saying that right, but I love Prolon as well, and that's a great way, but it is really hard when you can't exercise, and if that's part of your routine for, even just total wellness and feeling good mentally, a lot of people use exercise for that, so this is so great since you can still exercise while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? So like Dr. Slater said, we are sort of starting next Monday, June 20th. That's sort of the time that we set aside because we felt like it was a good time between holidays and stuff. But you can do this at any time. And so it's really, if you want to do it a few times a year just to help clear everything out and detox, you can do it any time. But we're doing the special physician supervised right now, so you'll have access to us and the whole group, which will be fun to do it together.
And if you guys have any additional questions or concerns, feel free to email the office or give us a call. But you will be getting anyone who was registered for this webinar will be getting that little email through Well World, which will kind of automatically enroll you, and you just can choose whether or not you want to participate, but you should be getting that either way.
Yes, absolutely. And then let me see a couple other questions. Yeah, so the email that you signed up for today with the webinar is the one that will receive that link. And I would just keep a lookout. Usually I've seen that it just goes to your normal inbox, but if you don't see it, today or tomorrow, then maybe check your junk, and you can also give us a call and we can just make sure that you're registered with the right email and everything.
Oh, that's a good question. So what other side effects might you have other than the tiredness at the beginning? I mean, everybody is different. I would say most commonly it's kind of some tiredness. Like I said, you could have sometimes people might have a little skin, like little something initially as your body's trying to kind of get rid of all the things. Yeah. I would say most commonly though, it's kind of some brain fog, a little tiredness, maybe a little skin flare.
Maybe some headaches.
Yeah. Especially if you're limiting caffeine all of a sudden.
Yes. Maybe just not feeling like totally great, but usually your body's pretty good at flushing that out within a couple days. Digestive wise, I think people feel pretty good doing it. Mm-hmm. Maybe you might notice like your sweat smelling a little bit more sometimes when you're detoxing, but I think those are the main things.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And I think too, it's your like digestive wise, oftentimes it stays the same, but if it's not uncommon, if you were like, oh, wait, I'm going more times per day, or, if there are little changes, that's not something that's worrisome. And like Dr. Wright said, usually our bodies are pretty good at like adjusting. And after those first couple days, you should feel, pretty good. And some of you might feel great right away. You don't have to feel crummy, but we just wanted you to be prepared that if you, did feel tired or something, it's not that something is wrong.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Any other questions?
All right.
So cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are very excited for this, and hopefully you guys are too. Be on the lookout for the emails, and we'll all get started early next week.
Great. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
We'll be in touch. Oh, oops. Thank you. Jennifer, we have one last little question. Can you take Tylenol if you get a headache? Yeah, these are things, it's not that you can't take these things. However, I will say, if you have some natural alternatives, like just some like little anti-inflammatories or things like that, or if you kind of can muscle through a headache, drink a little extra water, it's better. But there's no reason why you cannot take a Tylenol or something like that. There's no contraindications, but I would say if you can avoid it, even better, because then you're not putting any more toxins in there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, yep. And that is true. Peppermint oil can be helpful. There's a lot of natural things. And if you do, if this is an issue, if anybody has any of these, that's why this is special, is that we are here as a resource for you guys. So, if you do get a bad headache, let us know and we can offer you, like, oh, maybe try this or that. So that's why we say take advantage of this now, so that we can be here to guide you along the way. All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you guys.